Here's a tutorial for all you retro gamers out there. Sure, there are plenty of awesome looking games out these days with graphics that look pretty much real and sound that's going to blow your ears off just about. But sometimes you do just feel like taking a trip down the old memory lane. That's right, today we're going to be talking about the days when the greatness of the console was measured by how many bits it said it had, and the thing that always comes to my mind, and it's what we're going to be looking at today, is the Mega Drive, because that has 16-bit plastered on the front just to stick it up Nintendo's 8-bit ass. So that's what comes to my mind anyway. So on to it, retro gaming. Always a nice change. It's really nice just to be able to go and check out what it was like back in the day, and there are some pretty sweet games on there too. But if you're going to want to keep using your 15 plus years old console in the future, you got to look after it with some light maintenance every now and then. So without further ado, here's a quick guide to keeping your console clean. Now, like I said, we are going to be focusing on the Mega Drive today, but the build of them is pretty much the same, whether it's a NES or a SNES. They're all fairly similar, and you can definitely apply what we're doing to the Mega Drive to any console. And it's really nice and simple, really light. You don't have to do it too often, but just once in a while really makes the world of difference. Also, just a quick note in there, it's a picture tutorial. I was going to just make this a written tutorial, but then I thought, stuff that, I can't be bothered typing this much. So, pictures galore. Hope that's cool, but yeah, should be pretty straightforward. Onto it, things you'll need. So, first one, a decent Phillips head screwdriver just to open up the case. You might need a couple, maybe a small and a big one. Alcohol. Now, that is the cleaning kind. You don't want to get pissed on real alcohol and fuck it up. So, yeah, we're talking about rubbing alcohol. In this case, I'm using isopropyl, but you can get various types of rubbing alcohol from your chemists or your drugstore, whatever you want to call it, hardware stores, places like that. Other things you'll need are Q-tips or cotton buds, and they come in very handy because they can give a really nice clean without damaging any components. And lastly, just like a cloth or something like that, duster, just to also give everything a good dust and get all the shite out of there. So, onto it. First step in this is there's 4 screws in the bottom of the Mega Drive. So you just want to go ahead and once you've undone all the cables, just take out those 4 screws. And as we can see in the next picture, that's it split apart just after those 4 screws. So that leaves you with the plastic tray top, and then the main guts of the unit still stuck to the bottom. So after that, if you're looking at this top-down view, you'll see there's a big silver plate. So that is like a dust cover / heat sink. It does a couple of different things, and that's held on with 8 smaller screws around the outside of that. So it's really simple. You don't have to be too gentle. Take care, but these things are built really well. So, and they're pretty, not too much to them. So just go ahead, take out the 8 screws around the silver cover plate there. There we can see it. And that's what it'll look like once it comes off. It slides off nice and easily, so don't try and force it or anything like that. And that'll take you to just having the motherboard. Now on this next shot, it looks like the motherboard's been removed with those 8 screws because they do hold down the edges of the motherboard, but you still have the 2 screws, one on either side of the actual game connector. Those also holds the motherboard to the main bottom case. So you've got to go ahead and remove both of those screws, and they're quite long too, so just make sure you keep them apart and make sure you're using the right ones when you put it back together. So once you've got those screws out, the motherboard will slide really nicely out, leaving you with the bottom plastic case and the bottom half of the heat sink or dust cover. There's also like grounding for it as well. So that'll slide out nice and easily. Once again, don't force it. It should just lift out pretty much. Point of interest, on the right hand side of this picture on the motherboard, you'll see a red sort of plastic thing, and that's the connector for the Sega CD. It says do not remove on it, but that's what it is. So if you're curious and you've seen that before, that's what it is. Moving on, so that bottom dust cover / heatsink, that just lifts out. There's no more screws holding it on, so just lift that out. Once again, it should come out straightforward, nice and easy, and that'll leave you with the bottom half of the plastic case. So all we've got to do now is just get your duster, get your cloths in there, and just give it a real good dust down. Get all the junk out of there, because these things suck dirt up like a vacuum. So the less dust that's in there, the cleaner it is, the sort of better airflow it's got, and the better ventilation. So it's not going to heat up, overheat, any of that shit. Next step. Now here is a close-up of the motherboard. For those that have opened one before, or have a Mega Drive, should have a tiny little red LED in there. I'm a complete wanker. I've put a nice blue one in there because I like blue. So I'll show you that quickly at the end of the video. Oh, the end of this video too. But I thought, why not while we've got it open? And it's nice and easy to do too. Skip that. So here's a close-up. Isopropyl alcohol, that's what I'm using. Got my cotton bud. So just dip it in there. You want to squeeze off any excess. You don't want it dripping all over the place. We just have a nice amount on there. And in this case, I've just gone into the connector itself, and I'm just trying to clear out the top just to make those games work nicely. You can't get in there too well, but every little helps. Same with the motherboard itself. This isn't going to damage any components, so just go in there and clean anything that looks a bit gunky up with that cotton bud and the alcohol. Here we go again. Just got a duster, just cleaning all the excess junk off the dust plates and the like the casing itself. And so that's really about it. So long story short, it is just be careful, get a duster, get your cotton bud in there, and just give everything a good wipe out. Just make it look clean, basically. Once it looks clean, it probably is. And it's the same for the cartridge as well. You just want to get that cotton bud drenched in the alcohol, and just get into the bottom of connector of your game cartridge and just give it a good clean. Sometimes your cotton bud will come out black, and that's good, I guess, because it means you've cleaned the shit out of it. So get a good clean. It'll save you blowing in your cartridge every 2 seconds to get it working, and yeah, it is a good way to do it. So lastly, let's have a quick look at this blue LED because it looks pretty cool. Yeah. But anyway, good luck, guys. Need any help, as usual, go to getfaqd.com, and more than happy to help. Post here, but it's a lot easier for me to do it at getfaqd.com. Plus, you can still win a case for your phone, so why the hell not? Alright, cheers for watching, guys, and take